The Mediterranean Sea, with its timeless charm and strategic importance, has once again become the center of geopolitical tension. Amidst ongoing conflicts in the Gulf region, the United States has revealed a massive and secretive aircraft carrier. Shrouded in so much mystery, the news of its deployment is fast spreading through diplomatic channels and military headquarters, and everyone seems to wonder what makes it outstanding from other ships in the world's naval arsenal. And how will the arrival of this warship disturb the balance of power and security in the region? Join us as we unveil the U.S. secret $13 billion aircraft carrier, safeguarding stability in the Eastern Mediterranean. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has directed the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, flanked by cruisers and destroyers, to the Eastern Mediterranean. Their mission is to be prepared for any conceivable scenario. This move showcases America's readiness to tackle diverse challenges, from surveillance operations to the region's potential interception of weapon transfers. Reports suggest that 27 American citizens have tragically lost their lives in the escalating conflict between Israel and Palestine, with several others still missing. The U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem maintains a vigilant watch over the situation, prioritizing the safety and welfare of all affected Americans. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken spearheads diplomatic initiatives, striving for dialogue and pressing for immediate de-escalation. Meanwhile, the USS Gerald R. Ford deployment stands as a strategic maneuver aimed at easing tensions in the region. The USS Gerald R. Ford's formidable presence in the Mediterranean Sea serves a multitude of critical purposes. Primarily, it stands as a steadfast advocate for a ceasefire, offering a potent deterrent against the escalation of conflicts spilling beyond national boundaries, thereby bolstering regional stability. The deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford to the Mediterranean Sea signifies a noteworthy chapter in its illustrious history. While the carrier has been engaged in diverse operations previously, this mission marks its inaugural foray into a hostile area. After several months of operations in the Mediterranean Sea, the carrier steered its course closer to Israel in the Eastern Mediterranean. This shift followed the October attacks in southern Israel, underscoring the carrier's adaptability and strategic responsiveness to evolving regional dynamics. Throughout its deployment, the GRFCSG collaborated with 17 nations across a series of exercises. These included Baltic Operations, Air Defender, Bomber Task Force Viking Trident, Neptune Strike, and Sage Wolverine, as detailed in a Navy news release. The strike group engaged in joint operations alongside standing NATO maritime groups. 1 and 2 participated in dual carrier maneuvers alongside the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, known as CVN-69, and conducted exercises with the naval forces of France, Greece, Norway, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. The United States made a strategic naval maneuver by dispatching the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and its strike group to the Mediterranean Sea. The Eisenhower strike group was to traverse the Atlantic before arriving in the Mediterranean, though John Kirby clarified it was not specifically intended for the Eastern Mediterranean region at that time. That area was already being covered by the presence of the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, which represents a deterrent warning to outside parties against escalating the conflict between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip. However, Kirby stated that Eisenhower would be available and prepared for that region if its assistance is required. This naval maneuver comes as Israel has launched a major military offensive called Operation Sword of Iron against Hamas and other militant groups in Gaza. The Israeli assault was precipitated by a barrage of rocket attacks and infiltration attempts by Hamas under its Operation Al-Aqsa Flood in retaliation for perceived Israeli provocations in Jerusalem. As the two sides exchange heavy barrages of rocket fire and airstrikes, the humanitarian situation in blockaded Gaza is rapidly deteriorating. The U.S. has voiced grave concern over the Palestinian civilian casualties and the intensity of Hamas's assault on Israel, which has killed at least 9 American citizens so far. By positioning 2 powerful carrier strike groups in the region, the U.S. is signaling its commitment to allies like Israel while seeking to deter further escalation that could destabilize the wider Middle East. As Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin oversees the military deployments, diplomats are fervently working to resolve the crisis and restore a durable ceasefire. Initially, the carrier embarked on its deployment, accompanied by the Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser USS Normandy, the CG-60, and the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers USS McFall, USS Ramage, Defense, and USS Thomas Hudner. Recently, USS Hudner and USS McFall concluded their mission, returning to their home ports at Naval Station Mayport in Florida and Norfolk Naval Station in Virginia earlier this month. The Pentagon initially prolonged Ford's deployment in mid-October, shortly after the Hamas attacks in southern Israel sparked the ongoing conflict in the region. Subsequently, the Defense Department extended Ford's mission 2 more times in response to continued drone and missile attacks targeting sea lanes in the Red Sea, prompting the U.S. Navy's ongoing involvement. In December, the 3rd extension prolonged Ford's deployment, extending it through the holiday season. According to the Navy, the carrier spent a total of 239 days at sea. During this time, the crew of the Ford executed an impressive array of operations, including 33,444 flight deck maneuvers, 3,124 hangar bay aircraft movements, 2,883 aircraft elevator operations, 16,351 aircraft fueling evolutions, and the transfer of 8,850 pallets of cargo and mail. Voyages of the USS Gerald R. Ford. The USS Gerald R. Ford, also known as CVN-78, is an aircraft carrier serving the United States Navy, and it stands as the inaugural vessel of its class. This mighty ship bears the name of the 38th President of the United States, Gerald Ford. President Ford, whose naval service during World War II included combat missions aboard the light aircraft carrier Monterey in the Pacific Theater, is honored through this formidable vessel. On the 4th of October, 2022, Gerald R. Ford departed Naval Station Norfolk for task force exercise. The carrier's mission encompassed operations and training exercises alongside NATO allies and partners across the Atlantic Ocean. Gerald R. Ford's Carrier Strike Group 12 included Carrier Air Wing 8, USS Normandy, Destroyer Squadron 2 with USS Ramage, USS McFall, and USS Thomas Hudner, along with the auxiliaries USNS Joshua Humphreys and USNS Robert E. Peary and the United States Coast Guard cutter USCGC Hamilton. Among the initial NATO ships assigned to CSG-12 was the German frigate Hessen. On October 28, 2022, Gerald R. Ford embarked on her first port visit outside of the United States. The destination was Halifax Harbor in Nova Scotia, home to CFB Halifax, Canada's largest military installation and the home port of the Royal Canadian Navy's Atlantic Fleet. On November 14, 2022, the ship arrived in the waters of the United Kingdom for a 4-day visit, anchoring in Stokes Bay near Gosport. She then made her return to Norfolk on the 26th of November 2022. The carrier made its inaugural port visit outside the United States in Halifax Harbor, Nova Scotia, Canada. Following this, it ventured into the waters of the United Kingdom before returning to Norfolk on the 26th of November 2022. In 2023, the USS Gerald R. Ford embarked on its maiden full-length deployment on May 3rd, navigating through the operational domains of the 2nd and 6th Fleets. In May, the carrier arrived just outside Oslo, Norway, to participate in NATO exercises. Amidst its voyage, the ship received a distinguished visit from Norway's Crown Prince Haakon. Additionally, it is slated to proceed towards the Arctic for additional training exercises. By June 2023, it had reached the Mediterranean, finding anchor in Split, Croatia, for crew respite. Of significance, the carrier engaged in naval drills with the Italian Navy in the Ionian Sea in early October 2023, underscoring its crucial contribution to global maritime security. January 1, 2024, the U.S. 6th Fleet announced that the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group would make its way back to Norfolk after being relieved by an amphibious ready group comprising USS Baton, USS Mesa Verde, and USS Carter Hall. On the 17th of January 2024, Gerald R. Ford returned to Norfolk following an 8-month deployment. Throughout its journey, the carrier spent a total of 239 days away from Norfolk, conducted 43 underway replenishments, logged more than 10,396 sorties, and sailed more than 93,476 nautical miles, equivalent to 154,598 kilometers. Gerald R. Ford, from conception to commissioning. The journey of the USS Gerald R. Ford commenced with a contract valued at $2.7 billion in 2005. This was followed by a substantial $5.1 billion contract with Northrop Grumman Shipbuilding in Newport News, Virginia in 2008. Construction unfolded at the Huntington Ingalls Newport News shipbuilding facilities in Virginia with a poignant keel-laying ceremony on November 14, 2009. The event was spearheaded by Susan Ford Bales, daughter of President Gerald R. Ford, paying tribute to her father's enduring legacy. Construction milestones were swiftly achieved, with the carrier reaching the halfway mark in structural completion by August 2011. By April 2012, it had progressed to 75% completion, and by November 2012, it stood at 87%. Notably, the island, a prominent superstructure on the carrier's flight deck, was installed on January 26, 2013. On May 7, 2013, the final superlift was seamlessly installed, signifying 100% structural completion. This milestone was commemorated by the sealing of a time capsule on July 11, 2013. However, production setbacks resulted in a delayed launch in October 2013, with the naming ceremony subsequently held in November. By 2013, construction costs had escalated to $12.8 billion. Testing delays by September 2015 had shifted the delivery date to April or May 2016, with construction reported at 93% completion. Challenges with 4 major flight systems further hampered the ship's combat readiness, prompting a revised anticipated delivery on November 2016. As of March 2018, construction costs had soared to $13.27 billion, making the Gerald R. Ford the most expensive warship ever built. Delivery to the Navy was delayed by 3 months, with a new target delivery date set for October 2019. The USS Gerald R. Ford successfully concluded its initial operational test and evaluation on April 2017, followed by its maiden voyage for builder trials spanning from April 8th to April 13th. The acceptance trials took place from May 24th to May 26th, 2017. Initially postponed, shock trials were eventually conducted on June 18th, 2021, as the carrier underwent its first comprehensive shock trial off the Florida coast. Subsequent tests in July and August affirmed their successful completion. On the 31st of May 2017, Newport News Shipbuilding officially handed over the Gerald R. Ford to the U.S. Navy, marking her transition to special status in service. Subsequently, on the 22nd of July 2017, the Gerald R. Ford was formally commissioned into the United States Navy. On the 28th of July 2017, Air Test and Evaluation Squadron 23 conducted the inaugural arrested landing and catapult launch from the Gerald R. Ford using a FA-18F Super Hornet. A GAO report in mid-2020 highlighted significant issues with the operation of the weapons elevators aboard the Gerald R. Ford. Furthermore, a DoD report in early 2021 indicated that the ship remained non-combat ready, attributing ongoing challenges to the electromagnetic aircraft launch system. Originally intended to achieve 4,166 aircraft launches between operational mission failures, it fell significantly short, accomplishing only 181. On the 20th of March, 2021, Gerald R. Ford and the Italian aircraft carrier Cavour underwent ready-for operations conducted by the Italian Navy while traversing the Atlantic Ocean. In September 2022, Rear Admiral James Downey characterized the ship as fully delivered and having attained her initial operating capability. In 2024, she holds the distinction of being the largest aircraft carrier and the largest warship ever built. Technological marvel of the seas. The nuclear-powered carrier boasts 2 nuclear reactors, each weighing over 1,000 tons, endowing the ship with exceptional longevity. Nestled within its core are its 2 Beale A-1B nuclear reactors, which generate a staggering 700 megawatts of power, equivalent to an astounding 9,152,000 horsepower, or nearly 2 million horsepower through its pair of colossal electric motors. Each motor is equivalent in size to 4 pickup trucks stacked together, generating power equivalent to 1.5 million horsepower. However, owing to its immense size, the carrier cannot maneuver swiftly across the water like a race car. With a deck stretching 1,100 feet in length, 260 feet in width, towering at a height of 245 feet, and weighing 100,000 tons, the USS Gerald R. Ford earns the distinction of being the largest aircraft carrier worldwide. This size allows it to accommodate various aircraft, helicopters, and UAVs, including state-of-the-art 5th-generation fighter jets. Aboard this aircraft carrier rests a Mark 15 Phalanx close-in weapon system, a prominent emblem of excellence in anti-aircraft artillery systems. Its renowned status is well-deserved, as it proudly showcases an extraordinary rate of fire capable of unleashing 4,500 rounds per minute, with an initial projectile velocity reaching an impressive 3,600 feet per second. In offensive engagements, the Phalanx conducts a relentless ballet of projectiles, evoking the precision and swiftness akin to a laser-like performance. In addition to its formidable armament, the carrier showcases distinctive equipment, such as a specialized cable landing system tailored for accommodating helicopters. This system is vital for helicopters like the Apache, necessitating vertical landings. It guarantees a safe touchdown on the carrier's deck, even amidst challenging conditions characterized by turbulent wave activity. Furthermore, the USS Gerald R. Ford's outstanding design integrates a vast and unobstructed deck. This design greatly improves the effectiveness and safety of both takeoffs and landings, fostering an environment that prioritizes secure and efficient flight operations. The carrier is equipped with elevators that streamline the process of raising and lowering aircraft and other equipment. Each elevator boasts an impressive capacity, capable of lifting loads weighing up to 65 tons, with the carrier featuring 3 of these elevators. Remarkably, the USS Gerald R. Ford is equipped with a cutting-edge weapon system, Lockheed Martin's Law's shipboard laser system. This state-of-the-art technology harnesses formidable power from the aircraft carrier's nuclear reactors, facilitating a sustained offensive against hostile aircraft and missiles at a significant range of 3 miles. The laser's formidable power is capable of disrupting aircraft electronics or obliterating projectiles approaching the USS Gerald R. Ford. In situations requiring both incapacitation and destruction of adversary aircraft, the RIM 116 plays a crucial role in the carrier's formidable arsenal. The gun system possesses an appearance reminiscent of a creation from the realms of science fiction, featuring a magazine housing 20 missiles. Each missile is equipped with the capability to intercept targets at an impressive range of 6 miles, traveling at a formidable flight speed exceeding 2,200 miles per hour. The A-10 Thunderbolt II, affectionately dubbed the Warthog, stands as a potent emblem of the formidable firepower within American aviation. Its principal role is close air support, providing invaluable air cover to ground forces. This is achieved through its remarkable GAU-8 Avenger cannon, capable of firing an impressive 3,900 rounds per minute. The capabilities of this aircraft serve as a testament to the strength and support offered by American aviation. Similarly, the USS Gerald R. Ford, a state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, distinguishes itself with its vast and formidable armament. Gerald R. Ford is envisioned as the pioneer of a new class of aircraft carriers, promising substantial performance enhancements compared to the preceding Nimitz class. It is outfitted with an AN/SPY-3 and an /SPY-4 active electronically scanned array multifunction multi-band radar, along with the ship self-defense system Mk2 baseline 10 of the Mod 6 variant command and control system. The island aboard the USS Gerald R. Ford is shorter in length and stands 20 feet taller than its counterpart on the Nimitz-class carriers. Positioned 140 feet farther aft and 3 feet closer to the ship's edge, this configuration marks a departure from tradition. Furthermore, the electromagnetic aircraft launch system has replaced traditional steam catapults, enabling the launch of all non-VTOL carrier aircraft. This innovation eliminates the traditional need to generate and store steam, freeing up a significant area below deck. With the emails, Gerald R. Ford can achieve 25% more aircraft launches per day than the Nimitz class and requires 25% fewer crew members. The Navy estimates it will save $4 billion in operating costs over a 50-year lifespan. USS Gerald R. Ford, fortifying the carrier strike group's prowess. Deep within the USS Gerald R. Ford beats the pulse of its formidable airstrike group, a symphony of 95 aircraft and helicopters. This carefully crafted ensemble stands as a testament to the carrier's preparedness and prowess for its missions. Noteworthy is the Pentagon's strategic bolstering of this formidable complement in anticipation of the carrier's deployment to the Mediterranean. Among the enhancements were squadrons of F-35, F-15, F-16 fighters, and A-10 attack aircraft, all now stationed within the carrier's vast confines. Each of these aircraft brings its own set of skills and strengths to the USS Gerald R. Ford, combining to present a significant challenge to any potential adversaries and fortifying the carrier's combat prowess. Their inclusion is crucial in elevating the combat readiness and adaptability of the strike group, furnishing the USS Gerald R. Ford with indispensable air support and offensive capabilities to amplify the overall potency of the strike group. Strengthened by formidable surface combatants such as the USS Normandy, USS Ramage, USS McFall, and USS Thomas Hudner, the fleet includes destroyers and cruisers, each boasting advanced weaponry and systems. These accompanying fleets play a vital role in safeguarding the carrier, with destroyers, cruisers, and other surface combatants prioritizing the carrier's safety above all else. United as one, they epitomize a cohesive force, showcasing the formidable prowess of the American military while solidifying its strategic stance on the global stage. Moreover, these accompanying vessels extend the carrier's reach and power projection capacities. They provide supplementary firepower, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance capabilities, and logistical support. With this extended operational scope, the carrier gains the ability to undertake a wide array of missions and sustain a continuous presence across multiple regions. Additionally, the fleet's presence furnishes the carrier with the versatility to address various contingencies, spanning from humanitarian aid and disaster relief to combat engagements. It provides a multi-mission capability that is indispensable in modern naval warfare. Essentially, these fleets serve as the carrier strike group's versatile and essential assets, optimizing the efficiency and security of aircraft carriers throughout their missions. Floating above the main deck, an auxiliary platform, reminiscent of a sizable parking structure, acts as a secure sanctuary for a variety of elite warplanes. This area also accommodates the covert presence of stealth bombers like the B-21 Raider, ready to unleash rapid and devastating assaults on potential foes. Moreover, the USS Gerald R. Ford found immense value in the steadfast camaraderie of its companions throughout its journeys. The Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group, recognized as Carrier Strike Group 12, stands as a formidable naval assembly comprising several essential elements that synergize seamlessly. Central to the formidable USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group is the Carrier Air Wing 8, a versatile and dynamic collection of squadrons. These squadrons, such as HSC-9 Trident, HS-70 Spartans, Virginia, 124 Bear Aces, VFA-37 Raging Bulls, VFA-211 Checkmates, VFA-87 Golden Warriors, VFA-31 Tomcatters, VQ-142 Grey Wolves, and VRC-40 Rawhides, each contribute their distinctive array of aircraft and capabilities to the ensemble. Exploring the capabilities of the F-35 and F-16 fighter jets. One exceptional member of this airstrike group is the F-35, a versatile family of single-engine supersonic and stealth multi-role fighters. It has made a significant impact on modern air combat capabilities and is regarded as a milestone in aviation technology. As the second fifth-generation fighter to enter U.S. service and the first operational supersonic short takeoff and vertical landing stealth fighter, the F-35 boasts many impressive features contributing to its effectiveness in various mission scenarios. The F-35 is distinguished by its focus on low observability, advanced avionics, and sensor fusion, which together provide the aircraft with exceptional situational awareness and long-range lethality. The F-35 has been selected by the United States Air Force as its main strike fighter for missions involving the suppression of enemy air defenses. It features advanced sensors and mission systems, along with a unique wing-tail configuration that includes two vertical stabilizers designed for stealth. Additionally, the aircraft incorporates various flight control surfaces, such as leading-edge flaps, flaperons, rudders, and all moving horizontal tails. The wingspan of the F-35A and F-35B is relatively short at 35 feet to meet the requirement for fitting inside USN amphibious assault ship parking areas and elevators. In contrast, the F-35C features a larger wing for improved fuel efficiency. The aircraft is equipped with the Pratt & Whitney F-135 low-bypass augmented turbofan engine, which delivers substantial thrust, particularly when utilizing an afterburner. The use of composites, making up 35% of the airframe weight, enhances its stealth capabilities and overall durability. Furthermore, the internal weapons bays reduce drag from external stores and allow for a top speed of Mach 1.6, enhancing its combat range and versatility. The F-35's advanced mission systems incorporate cutting-edge sensors and avionics, such as the Northrop Grumman APG-81 AESA radar, BAE Systems ASQ-239 Barracuda electronic warfare system, and Lockheed Martin AAQ-40 electro-optical targeting system. These systems greatly enhance the pilot's situational awareness and command and control capabilities. One of the most remarkable features of the F-35 is its distinctive helmet-mounted display system. This system projects flight and combat information directly onto the pilot's visor, enabling them to maintain situational awareness even when not looking directly ahead. Additionally, the HMDS enables off-boresight missile launches, making it a crucial component for air combat. The F-35 achieves its stealth capabilities through careful design, the use of radar-absorbent materials, and innovative features such as the diverter supersonic inlet. Its radar cross-section has been likened to that of a metal golf ball at certain frequencies and angles, making it highly effective at evading detection. The F-35 and F-16 are highly esteemed fighter aircraft, each demonstrating unique capabilities that hold crucial roles in contemporary air combat. The F-35 is renowned for its remarkable adaptability in accommodating a variety of air-to-air and air-to-surface weapons in its internal bays and on external wing stations. This adaptability allows the F-35 to excel in diverse mission profiles, including close air support and the suppression of enemy air defenses. On the other hand, the F-16, a fourth-generation fighter, has solidified its position as a pinnacle in its own domain. The F-16 is a single-engine, supersonic, multi-role tactical fighter aircraft that has redefined air combat with its advanced aerodynamics and avionics. It features the initial implementation of a relaxed static stability fly-by-wire flight control system, enabling exceptional maneuverability. Highly agile and capable of 9G maneuvers, the F-16 can reach speeds surpassing Mach 2. It includes characteristics such as a frameless bubble canopy, a side-mounted control stick, and a reclined seat for pilot comfort. Equipped with an internal M61 Vulcan cannon and numerous hardpoints for missiles, bombs, and pods, the F-16 proves to be a versatile platform. Engineered for cost-effectiveness and ease of maintenance, it utilizes a blend of aluminum alloys, steel composites, and titanium in its airframe. Significantly, it was designed for a structural life of 8,000 flight hours and 9G maneuvers. The F-16's aerodynamics showcase a cropped delta wing with vortex lift, 4B vortex control strakes, and a fixed geometry underslung air intake. These components synergize to optimize agility and high angles of attack. The aircraft is equipped with a quadruplex fly-by-wire system that delivers precise control during high-G maneuvers. Within the cockpit, the F-16 provides unmatched visibility with a bubble canopy and reclined seat. It incorporates hands-on throttle and stick controls and multi-function displays for pilot convenience. The aircraft is equipped with fire control radar, with modern versions featuring advanced active electronically scanned array radars, sustaining naval power. Resupplying a ship while it's out at sea on a mission lasting months is a meticulously planned and orchestrated operation. Often, the aircraft carrier is accompanied by a fleet of supply ships. These vessels are entrusted with the vital duty of ensuring the continuous operation of the aircraft carrier. The resupply process is carried out using an ingenious system known as underway replenishment. The system involves supply ships coming alongside the aircraft carrier while both vessels are still in motion. The two vessels are then connected using a series of cable lines and hoses, which are used to transfer fuel and ammunition from the supply ship to the aircraft carrier. Before the advent of underway replenishment, navies were constrained in their ability to project power globally by the need to periodically return to coaling stations or friendly ports to refuel and restock their ships. The British Royal Navy maintained an extensive network of coaling stations around the world to support its global operations, but this infrastructure was vulnerable and created predictable patterns an enemy could exploit. Recognizing these limitations, military strategists on both sides of the Atlantic in the late 19th century began experimenting with techniques to replenish ships' coal bunkers while underway at sea. However, early methods like using suspended coal carriers or aerial cableways proved far too slow and impractical for wartime operations. Transfer rates of just 5 to 20 tons per hour were achieved, whereas a typical battleship required over 2,000 tons of coal. The transition from coal to oil as ships' primary fuel in the early 90s was a catalyzing development, as liquid fuels could be pumped continuously between ships underway in a way that solid coal could not. This opened the door for underway replenishment to become a viable reality. Both the U.S. Navy and Royal Navy devoted significant resources to developing and testing various oil replenishment rigs, hose setups, and ship handling procedures in the years leading up to World War I. The U.S. took an early lead when Chester Nimitz pioneered an ad hoc beam refueling system in 1917 that successfully kept American destroyer flotillas operating in the Atlantic for months without needing to return to port. Building on this, the U.S. Navy continued enhancing underway replenishment capabilities in the interwar years, enabling aircraft carriers and other large ships to be refueled underway by the outbreak of World War II. Underway replenishment then became a closely guarded military secret and a decisive advantage for the U.S. Navy in the Pacific theater of World War II. It allowed carrier task forces to effectively operate indefinitely at sea, unconstrained by the need to routinely return to a distant port to replenish their stocks. This self-sustaining mobility provided an asymmetric edge in operational reach, endurance, and combat persistence against enemy forces. In the decades after the war, the U.S. continued pioneering more advanced underway replenishment systems like multi-product ships and the stream rig to simultaneously transfer fuel, ammunition, stores, and other supplies between ships while underway. Although inherently complex and hazardous, these mobile logistics capabilities became indispensable for enabling modern navies to maintain a persistent, globally deployable presence in exercising command of the seas. Underway replenishment transformed naval warfare by unbounding fleets from land-based logistics constraints, Along with the mobile air power projection enabled by aircraft carriers, it became a core capability underpinning the ability of modern navies like the U.S. to serve as preeminent maritime powers capable of sustained global force projection and sea control missions far from their shores. The fuel transfer process requires careful handling due to the transfer of significant quantities of volatile and combustible material between vessels. To prioritize safety, supply ships are outfitted with an array of safety measures. These include spill containment systems, fire suppression equipment, and other essential safety gear. The resupply of an aircraft carrier is managed by a dedicated team of sailors who undergo specialized training in underway replenishment procedures. These skilled sailors are tasked with executing the swift and efficient transfer of supplies and fuel, aiming to minimize the duration the aircraft carrier spends alongside the supply ship. The process of resupplying an aircraft carrier is not without its challenges. The high seas can be unpredictable with rough weather and high waves, making it difficult to carry out the transfer of supplies and fuel. Additionally, the process of transferring large amounts of material from one vessel to another requires a high degree of coordination and skill, as a single mistake you have catastrophic consequences. However, the ship wasn't the only one getting replenishment. The culinary team aboard the Gerald R. Ford was hard at work, whipping up a staggering 3.1 million meals during the deployment. Their impressive efforts included cracking open approximately 48,000 dozen eggs, pouring out 24,000 gallons of milk, grilling up 131 hamburgers, cooking through 367,000 pounds of chicken, and satisfying everyone's sweet tooth with a whopping 79,000 chocolate chip cookies, the favorite of the ship's namesake, Gerald R. Ford. The Ford Carrier Strike Group was comprised of units and personnel from Carrier Strike Group 12, Carrier Air Wing 8, and Destroyer Squadron 2. Notably, the USS Gerald R. Ford boasts a plethora of cutting-edge technologies, such as the electromagnetic aircraft launch system and advanced arrest gear, revolutionizing the methods of launching and recovering aircraft aboard the carrier. With the carrier's return, it will now undergo a sortie generation rate test to evaluate if Ford is delivering on its pledge to enhance the SGR by 30% compared to CVN-78 Nimitz-class carriers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.